shenanigans. I'm all about it, bro. I don't
No,
care.
I'm 100% for it. And that's why here on Cardboard Conversations, you guys got us live already. It's 7 o'clock Eastern. Happy Saturdays. You know, loving life of recent. Things are going great for me. I hope they are for you out there in YouTube land and everybody here in studio as well. Bob, Matt, as always, phenomenal to have you here.
Thank you, thank you. Feeling a little bit of the holiday spirit finally. I
Oh
was a little worried.
yeah,
I
I
normally
can see your
start in
jingle
like
bells
September.
there.
That's that. That's the card from last year. That's the WotC Top Deck the Halls. They send out a card every year to the LGSs. And if you're
Oh,
not
yep.
familiar with that whole series, like if you wanted every one of them ever made, you're probably looking at like $3 or $4 to pick them all up.
Oh wow.
They're usually stupid expensive. They're not for sale. They're silver bordered cards. Though they did announce this year they're switching from silver bordered. Guess what's going to be on it to make it delineated that it's not tournament legal?
Ooh, are they gonna put
Acorns.
like?
The
Ooh,
acorn.
oh man, I was hoping they were gonna put like a
Oh, this
jingle
wasn't.
bell or
Was
something
this
at the
no? This
bottom.
was 2 years ago. I'm sorry. Last year was like last minute chopper or something like that, where they had like a zombie
yeah,
cut off
yeah.
the dude's arm or something.
Yep.
It had like the fruitcake monster or something. It had different holiday cards that they send out to LGSs, so they're not for sale. They're given to the LGSs as an appreciation type of thing, and then those guys tend to sell them online. But they're pretty expensive, and I love the artwork on this one. So
Yeah, it's very
very
festive.
festive.
Yeah, I like that.
I have it. Sherry Vegas got it for me for Christmas a couple years ago, and not only does she get the card, but it comes in a like regular. I should probably get it at some point and show it off. A holiday card, like you would send out Christmas cards, and it's got like a
That's
bunch of
cute.
WotC stuff on the
Yeah.
front of it, and so she got not only the game card, the Top Deck the Halls, but she got the Christmas card that it came in too. So that was pretty cool. I'm happy with it.
Wicked.
I like all kinds of different Magic and game paraphernalia. Not like the things that everybody collects. It's like even sitting in front of me. I got a whole of different types of these things because I just think that's effing cool. You know what that is? You know what that was from?
No, but that is pretty sweet art.
That's from the Modern Horizons 2 bundle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And I've got a whole stack of different ones from Kamigawa and other things. I have the I thought that was really cool. The blood invitation one, the wedding invitation.
Oh.
That came in the Crimson Vow.
So far, it was like all foily.
Well, you mean the box. The invitation is not foily, but it's kind of more rigid cardboard. This is just paper that I showed you, but all the like posters that they used to put on the inside of the bundles. Like if you open them up and spread them out, there was a poster on the inside of it. There's just all kinds of, not magic related stuff that you can have. I like it. I like my hat.
I like my hat.
It helps me find my magic happy. No, it's like my hat, Magic 30th.
And
magic card.
I found some Magic Happy with the Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
I was actually driving down Thursday for Thanksgiving, went and saw my family down in the old Connecticut there, and I saw there were some incredible deals happening. So I had Alex from Ash and Wings open up a Streets of New Capenna set box. Did really well on that, actually. So,
nice.
There's a lot of really great things out there. There's a lot of magic to make yourselves happy. So, for sure, 'tis the season.
I bought a Kamigawa draft box. I bought a Crimson Vow gift bundle, which is basically like a normal bundle, but it comes with a collector's pack. I bought 2 Streets of New Capenna bundles. They were like $22. The Crimson Vow, no, the New Capenna was $24 each, and then the Crimson Vow was $22, and then the draft box was like $74, I think. So all pretty cheap for everything considered. So I was pretty happy with that.
I actually have mail day. I have this to open. If you guys want, we can do it at any time. I could do it now. Or we wait till there's more folks on stream.
Yeah, all up to you. I'm in no rush anyway. I'm here just chilling.
Well, I just don't want, the thumbs down to like just, crash the stream here. So we ready? I don't have the other camera set up, so here we go live. Oh, let's hope I don't cut into anything here. And old man, get off my lawn. I'll get there. So here we go. I don't know what this looks like. So this will be a first for me, like it is probably for many people that won't get to see it. That's what it looks like inside the box. If you can see it. We're going to get that Joker outside the box.
What's he got?
We're going to take off the bubble wrappage.
Ooh, he's unwrapping bubbles. Okay, stay tuned for more right now. Oh.
There it is.
Oh, it's
with
not
the
what I thought it
seals and
was.
everything on it. And it's got the little pull tabby thing. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, you're probably not going to use that, though.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, why would he buy a product to actually open? Like, that seems really stupid.
Well, I don't have to buy products to not open them. I mean, I still have the Vegas ones.
And,
so there we go. I feel the thumbs down from people not even watching the streams or giving us thumbs down on that one.
Honestly, I'm more mad about Magic 30, not even about the product itself, but I'm more mad about the customer support not getting back to me about my hoodie. I sent them the message about my hoodie. They said that because I have a hole in my hoodie, I didn't realize it until I got back where like the seam on the side didn't finish. So there's like a giant hole in it. So I was like, I sent them a message. I was like, hey, I have a hole in my hoodie. Can you guys like send a replacement or something? And they're like, oh, that's terrible. We're sorry to hear that. We have to wait until our supply gets back from Magic 30. But as soon as that happens, we'll get back to you. And then fucking crickets for 3 weeks. I would follow up email.
I would not expect rapid response. Like the, I was part of that Double Masters VIP. Send in the UPC to get a free pack of Double Masters because of the whole, what is it, the what do they call that when they had the thing that said that you could get 2 mythic foil full bordered and you can only get 1 out of the VIP packs. So there's like misleading marketing or whatever it was, and you could send in that, hey, I'm mad at you letter and get a free pack. Well, I did that, but it took them like, I want to say 7 or 8 months to actually get me my pack.
Well, this is Reed Pop. This isn't Wizards.
So you had to go to Reed Pop for your hoodie?
Yeah. When I sent them an email to Wizards, they said that it wasn't them. It was Reed Pop only. And Reed Pop was quick to respond the first time, but then for some reason they just dropped the ball on the response the second time. I mean, I guess I can send them another follow-up email.
I mean, I think Reed Pop ran the event. I think they ran the ticket sales the first time. And you know how happy we were with that whole spiel. So yeah, I mean, I'm not like trying to let WotC off the hook because ultimately WotC hired Reed Pop to do these things for them. So
right.
At the end of the day, they're responsible. However, that's kind of garbage. Reed Pop, I'm not super happy with. If I was to be, part of a panel or a board or a committee to select somebody to run events, and Reed Pop was one of the contenders, I think I would have some serious reservations about them running our event if I was, selecting them for a company. So
wow, Anger Collections with a hot comment. Check that out. Opened 100 VIP packs. They sent in 100 barcodes from them, and they got 100 packs. Wow, that's impressive. I didn't know they had a redemption program kind of thing going on.
I had no idea.
It was, not like an official thing, but if you watch, I think maybe I saw it on Rudy or somebody who was talking about it. Anyways, when I saw it, I was like, hey, why not? So yeah. I kept the box. I still have the VIP box up in my little like menagerie of Magic stuff where, like these are going to go sit.
Your menagerie on card?
Yeah. And it's got the Double Masters. I only bought 1 box of Double Masters VIP or pack, however you want to put it. And, it's open and it has the barcode cut out. So
That's funny.
I keep thinking of, well, maybe I'll just, it's not that expensive. Maybe I'll just go buy another one so I have a display piece. But
We just beat the USA in the World Cup. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, Lion.
Sports ball.
Yeah, the people in my office have like a World Cup thing going on, and I could not care any less. It's so funny. Yeah, I don't really care for sports in general. I watch football when it's on. Over Thanksgiving, the game was on, and we had the choice of 1970s television or ABC football. So we were just watching a bit of that, some college games. It's enjoyable enough and everything, but I just don't ever have that whole team rivalry. My guys are gonna get it today. I'm there for the love of the game, same as Magic. I'm not really rooting for one product over another. I don't really care for one color pie versus the other. I just want everybody to have fun and turn cards sideways.
Yeah, we need to do that some more on the
Raid monster.
we're getting ready to release.
Yeah, I had one of my friends over last night. We got to watch a bunch of Magic videos. I showed him some of the spreadsheets, and he was like grinding his teeth. He missed out on a couple of offerings, when we had played, done some testing for it, sent an invite to him, and now he's really kicking himself in the butt because it is such a fun experience, and he really wants to partake in that. So, me too. A super fun time, and we're doing some really good work there, and I appreciate the heck out of it.
What's that, Matt?
I playtested a bunch on Thursday. I did hard mode playtesting, and I feel like it almost needs to be more difficult, so we'll see.
Yeah, more board wipes.
Well, it's not about the board wipes. It's the biggest one that I noticed was there was the one that says you can only draw a card, one card per turn, and play one spell per turn. Yeah. The problem with that is the way it's currently worded is that the moment it gets back to the boss monster's turn, you can draw as many as you want before it rolls. So I think what it has to say is until the end of the boss monster's next turn, so that it can keep screwing you over, or else, like I was able to wait for my Volo to tap draw 8 cards before it rolls. So then the effect has already worn off. I think it has to be on hard mode. It has to be until the end of its next turn, so that it might be able to get the same result over and over and over again.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I've felt a number of times that we could always tune it up, and I think that's one of the things that really showed through, Matt, with some of our playtesting when we were together, is that we were kind of fooling around with that Phyrexian and the infect sort of stuff. It was super fun doing that, making it really difficult. I think that's one of the things that. Go ahead,
we still don't have the tower mode, though, and I think we need to work on that. So for all of you out there listening that are utterly confused about what we're talking about right now, and if it's your first time listening, we have
if it's your first time
expanding upon a format we're expanding upon a PvE Magic format that was inspired by the boss monster format that we ran into in Vegas, but felt that it was wholeheartedly inadequate and really needed more attention, more development. So what we've done, Matt, Pat, and I, and others, we have been over the past few weeks enhancing. It's almost an entirely different game in all reality. It has some similar elements to the Boss Commander, but we're working on it, and we think we're really close to releasing the format in the wild, at least for the standard or basic rule set, and we're going to have multiple rule sets based on what you're attempting to do. We'll have an easy mode for newer players, and it's really kind of designed so that maybe one person that has at least an idea about some Magic mechanics can introduce a group of people. You're all on the same team, so you either all win or you all lose against the boss monster, who is a sheet full of different rules and roles. That there's a monster that takes a turn at the end of everybody's turn that will do things like board wipes, or you can't draw more than one card a turn, or there's lots of different things. And if you want to know more, we can share the rules with you. I don't know, Matt, if you feel you're ready, we could post those in the chat. But we're coming up with different variants of the rules for different experiences while doing this PvE, that you're not head to head. So you can play test decks against it, like your commander decks, and see how it would fare against an opponent, really, without having an opponent there. but it's really the inspiration came from trying to get everybody on the same team. And I think that would be more appealing. It's certainly going to be more casual for people that are not experienced with Magic, and it's not as intimidating to jump on and go, well, even the experienced players are going to lose if we lose, and if not, it's great to have an experienced player that can walk me through the rule set. So there'll be more of that coming soon. We've announced it for a few weeks, so I think we're getting close to giving something to you all to test out for the holidays.
Yeah, I wrote up a playtest document that kind of has like the general rules and has the 3 different difficulty tables, and it has like the general idea of what our goal is, and then it also has like a way to join in and provide feedback with like an email. But I want somebody to at least read over it and make sure that there's like no spelling errors or whatever. Just double check my work, make sure that everybody agrees with what I say. So at the moment, that's finished, but it just needs to be reviewed, and then we can send it out to people. And then I actually also am in the process, and these 2 guys don't even know about it. I'm in the process of learning Android Studio, and I'm actually writing an app for this. So we'll actually have an Android app for this. It's very simple to do, and I'm sure I could probably spice it up and make it better. But just having a chart and then have it randomly pick one of those results is actually a very simple app to make. So I should have this done by today. By the end of today, as long as I
That's
put my head
fantastic.
down, and then I can spice it up later. But I want to get the general functionality of it first. But yeah, having an app, just be able to click a button and it just kind of picks the modes. Now, the one thing I don't know is I don't know if I'll be able to program it to where it like adds an additional result after every time you click the button. It would add another result after the second time you click it. Maybe I'm sure I could probably figure it out. But the very basic, just clicking it once. And like I want to keep track of rounds, and it'll be cool. But yeah, having an app will be awesome.
So yeah, I mean, if anybody in the audience is interested in giving it a run before we have all the rules out to everybody, please hit me up at gamingbob21@yahoo.com and let me know. We'll do a spell table to answer Savannah Lyon's question if you want to bring that up from 717 there. Savannah asked, it sounds like fun. Is it spell table proof? In short, the answer is no. Nothing is spell table proof when it comes to Magic. But, it's going to have the same difficulties that you experience playing other Commander games with cards like Turgid or the other ones that let you like look at a player's hand, and those type of things are always going to be very problematic on spell table. It's just the nature of the beast, to be quite honest with you. So. We're not creating a whole new spell table like interaction. You'll be playing it over spell table. So the problems that exist with spell table will still exist for our format.
Spell table is also limited to 4 people, to my knowledge. I don't know if there's any way to do more than 4. And our format technically isn't limited by any number.
No.
So
No, that's one of the great things is that it really does have such a slide in player capacity. We've done one person, a little bit of solo testing. I think we've all done that at this point. And then we've had, 4 player games plus the boss there. So yeah, I don't know if there is another way to be able to do it. We did have 3 people and one loaded up another screen and kind of had a false 4th person playing that had some decent functionality, but this would also work in a 5 or 6 person format as well. So it is difficult to use spell table in that sense.
I would say we haven't tested it greater than 4, so I don't know how well the scaling will work above 4. There might be like, I'm assuming if you had like 10 players, so to speak, that the boss is only getting 1 turn per 10 players.
Yeah,
you might have to like tune the rules up that having 10 people beat on a boss is, sometimes things just don't scale well. Like for example, Matt and I did a Dungeons and Dragons. We made the mistake of trying a 9-player campaign, and it was just absolute misery. It's bad. And you trust me, you don't want to. There is such a thing as an optimal number of people for gaming. And
that's tough.
some of the games are built like Cards Against Humanity. You can have a larger number, and One Night Ultimate Werewolf are better with bigger crowds.
Yeah.
But most games in general that you could take 5-minute turns. You don't want 10 people. That's an hour between each turn you take.
That's a really good point. And just before I comment back on that, just want to say, hey, what up to everybody in the comment section? Thanks for popping in. And Matt Lees, hey, friggin' great to have you here. Wonderful. Thanks, bud. And that's a really good point, Bob, with the player capacity being an issue. When you're playing games like Risk, Monopoly, Poker, there's definitely a maximum that gets too unwieldy to really function correctly. And I think that's something that we'll have to work out. But Matt's made a pretty decent point up here saying that maybe we get a big bad monster. You always play on hard mode or something. And we got DJ tonight. Great to have you in.
I think with the amount of things, the amount of playtesting we've done, and with the scalability that each rule set has, I think that the results kind of cover, like, it doesn't care how many people you play. You can play one versus the boss monster. You can play probably 6, 7, 8, because it globally affects everybody equally. So I don't know that the player count matters. Maybe the life totals would have to be adjusted. Like, I was actually thinking about adding more life total to the hard mode to make it last a little longer, so that you had the more rolls. Because basically, once the boss monster gets more turns, it gets more rolls. Every even turn, it gets another die that you roll, and at a certain point, it's going to take you out. It's going to wipe your board, take care of it's going to strip you of everything you've ever owned, and except for your lands, most likely it won't touch those. It can, but yeah, and then it will win by killing you. So hard mode is designed that way, to be hard. The base mode is pretty easy, like the standard easy mode. If you ever want, like, just to show a brand new player, like Rob was saying, it's super easy.
But I will say this, even the easy mode, the nice thing about the format that we've created is that it has a built-in timer. What do I mean by that is that the longer it goes, you will ultimately lose. Like, you're just not going to stalemate out. Eventually, the boss monster will just crush you. It'll just get too many rolls, and it'll kill every board state that there is. So,
I got really lucky on Thursday. It was kind of nuts.
So it's nice. I would say that still the average that we're shooting for, we're trying, with a 4-player mindset. The games tend to last right around 30 to 40 minutes. Like, that's typically
cool.
Yeah.
That's a nice pace. If it goes longer than that, you're probably either somebody's a dirtler and tell them, hurry the fuck up, or
yeah, somebody gets like
or the boss is going to get you.
Yeah, you get like trip 11s and everything gets ruined. Or nat ones, everybody rolls singles. Rough times. Yeah, we've had.
I don't even think we intended to talk about this, so my apologies to the audience. But we're pretty excited about it, and hopefully, when we share it with you guys will run it on. We really need to get it out of our hands entirely, and let other people, run the game. Which we asked Gavin, who was here a couple weeks ago. I've been looking and I didn't see them run it yet with the Commander Rules Committee. Would desperately love to have them run it and, honestly poke holes in it. That's the best way to learn. What we need to fix is by having other people. So when we do have people initially, there may be an initial set of people that we release the rules to say, hey, give it a few runs through with different decks and whatnot, and let us know what you encounter so that we can try to, help fix whatever might be wrong with it. So hopefully we'll have some people helping out with that, including maybe people in the audience here.
Yeah, Savannah, the idea at the moment was to have like a demo of sorts. At least that's what in my head, it's one of those things where it was still like, it's now at the point where it's ready to be play tested. But prior to this, we were just kind of like, we've play tested this a lot. We've got an Excel document where we've got at least 20 different, or probably I'd say about 10 plus different days of multiple different games of playtesting data.
Yeah, we've probably got multiple different rule sets worth of data.
Yeah, we've got multiple different rule sets where we've went from a D12 to a D20 from Gavin's recommendation because of the accessibility of people having a D20 versus a D12. So that was a good idea, and I think I enjoy it better, to be quite honest, the D20 version, because of it's changed the percentages of what results are rolled slightly. And I guess once we get an app built for it. Ideally, you don't have to have a die at all, so anybody can play it as long as you have a phone. And you all have phones, right? Diablo Immortal confirmed this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to derail everybody on that one. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about this week, and we should probably start delving into some of that. And we'll give you guys some more. As soon as we're ready, we'll give you a link to the rule set that we have. And just keep tuning in here, folks. Tune in here to listen for updates. We don't even have a name for it yet. Some sort of raid boss commander, and bosses and raids.
Could be Commander Raiders. I don't know. We're still like workshopping a name.
Cardboard rating.
If you've got ideas, put them down in the comment section. If you're watching this later, we'll check in with that. So who knows? Maybe you'll have the great idea for the next huge format.
Sure.
So on to the news. Let's get into the news. So people hate Commander. I'm sorry, 30th Commander.
Fuck Commander. I hate it. It's the worst game ever.
What a terrible format that shit is. Anyways, people are hating on the 30th commemorative. Pat put out an excellent little short today that was just so on point.
Yeah, I just got
that I've been in support of it.
I was driving home
I bought
yesterday,
it.
and I was like, I can't fucking take this anymore. It's like everywhere I turned, it was just
people are just pulling. Like I was watching a video with with Bill Nye the Science Guy and some other physicists talking about critical thinking. And I really recommend for everybody in the audience, especially when it comes to buying Magic products and thinking about Magic in the world, learn about critical thinking. Please go out there and educate yourself a little bit on what critical thinking is. Now, we're trusting a source that what was it, Magic EO or something? Who the hell is this guy? Was it Reddit? I want to say it was on a Reddit post. Releasing some facts about what sold. I hate to say it, but we don't know anything, right? And all this negativity and pitchforks and whatnot, we don't know what the product's going to do. This thing could be worth, firewood for all we know. But hating in the community and all the negativity is just not good for you. It's not good for me. It's not good for anybody. And we just need to try to find, we've been saying for a while that, find what makes you happy. Stop focusing on the negativity. I don't care if it gets clicks. Matt and I have avoided doing content on that specifically because it's just, we don't want the hate bears if that's what it means to, make our channel go monetized. I don't want that personally. I want these discussions with everybody. And I think that you all should look at things rationally with a calm head when you're making financial decisions and go off of the facts, not rumor mill and mob mentality. And we don't know anything until WotC releases numbers, folks. Like, if they never do, you're never going to know.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's just one of those things where at this point, it's old hat. We've got so many great things going on outside of the collector's edition that recently came out. It seems as though the advent calendars have been a huge hit. Almost every card is turning profit. So if you've got extras of them, maybe now's the time. Either if you want turn singles into, hundreds, or maybe go ahead, sell the whole thing off. Keep them for a while. I don't see why they would ever go down in price. And, you were saying before, Matt, I don't know, man.
If they reprint them, they will go down in price. They can't reprint them. That's the problem.
Yeah.
As long as they don't reprint them, we're good. But they like to put stuff in list slots, and they like to ruin things.
Absolutely true. The list is, done people real dirty over the last 2 or 3 years since they've introduced it. But we've also had some really good hits off of the list spots as well. I think it's been a decent way to do a bit of soft reprinting, but it's almost not impactful with how often you see cards on the list unless they're reprints from a secret lair. And I think that's a good point there, because the list spots would only be for the cards themselves and not for this incredible graphic, which is really why I think these are such a premier product right now.
You know, I'm just going to say this because it's been boiling over in me for weeks. I have a very, very simple and easy solution to so much of the negativity and hate out there. And you're not going to like what I have to say, but I know exactly how to make people happy with Magic again. Stop expecting a return on profit from buying it.
Great point, Bob.
It's a
Yeah,
game.
yeah. You're buying Magic cards. You know, it's if you compare it to a lot of other things that you spend money on, games nowadays are about $70. So if you spent $70 to buy yourself Elden Ring when it came out, I hope you had fun with it. It's the same thing, but you don't expect a return on your investment. You spend the money so that you can enjoy it. That's the same thing with Magic. It's the same thing with a new towel. You know, if you got a set of car seat covers, you spend the money so you can enjoy it. Don't expect money back from it. This is a game. It's pure entertainment purposes. It's interesting that there is a financial side to it, but that shouldn't be the focus on it. If it is, then you are probably super duper happy with Magic 30th. You are probably one of the people that really enjoyed getting the product. If you're just going to keep it, if you're going to hang on to it for a while, it's perfect. It is a collector's thing. It's an anniversary. It's a commemorative product. That's what it's made for. They're not proxies. If they were proxies, they'd be 40 cents a card. That's the shit Matt and I are into. I mean, that's why when I went down to my LGS, Brad,
I'm into it too.
yeah.
Hey, whoa. Time out, bro. I've
Oh, no,
got
no,
quite
yeah.
a few proxies myself. I
Yeah.
love proxies.
Yeah.
I love the real thing. I love collecting. I love all of it, folks. I love people, you people coming to watch us on a Saturday night, giving us your time. I
Yep.
love coming here. If I never get a penny of monetization from being on YouTube, I could give two farts.
No,
I have
yeah.
a lifetime of memories chit-chatting with the folks here on the screen with me, with you fine folks in the audience, with going to Magic 30th and meeting a bunch of people. Honestly, I could give a shit less if all my product, if it all goes to zero, which I don't think that's a possibility even. I don't care, right? I've had fun doing all this, even just collecting it and shopping and spending the time buying it and looking for sales and good deals. And it's important to enjoy the journey. Rudy used to say that a lot. Like Rudy's changed like
Oh yeah.
drastically
Oh
over
yeah.
the past few months.
He was actually one of the
completely
big influences on that little bit of a rant video I put out. He has absolutely changed the way that he interacts with YouTube in general. I mean, shit, in most of his videos for the last 2 weeks, he's talked about how if I do this, I'll do this. It's
The thing is, what he used to preach is enjoy it, folks. Enjoy the hobby, right? For all the different pieces and parts of it, enjoy the hobby. And it was funny, you know, like I was on a stream. I won't call it out who it was and where it was, but it was right at either during or right after the sale, and I said I bought one, and the response was from some guy said, "Well, I'm sorry you lost all your money," and I said, "I'm not. Look, I hate to tell you, but collectors, when they buy a collectible thing, often don't care that they paid more for that thing than it's worth. They just want the thing. And this is a collector piece. And I wanted that thing, right? There are some things that I want that I would pay, a ridiculous amount of money for, even just, like something. This is a thing for me that I really want. It's a pin from Dual Brain. And this stupid sticker, one of my big victories from drafting packs at Magic 30th, I had a great time acquiring these, sticker drafting with people in the VIP lounge. What is a sticker? 10 cents? Who the fuck knows? But I enjoyed it. I had a great time with it. And it's awesome to try to enjoy the hobby along with it. Even my mother asked me, she goes, "Well, what happens if you spent $30,000 in the last 3 years?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Well, what if it does crash?" I'm like, "Then I get to open a whole bunch of Magic packs."
Yeah. And
It's
the
like,
money's already been
cool.
spent. Like that's yeah.
Hey.
The money's already been spent. It's
And it's like, and that's what that's why I've said it many times. You guys have heard me say it here. Buy stuff that you want, products that you like. That way, if you get stuck with it, you're still happy.
Matt, you're always as adorable online as you are in just give you a big old hug. I could see him saying this. It's just like the price, remember, with just a hand on your shoulder. That's exactly how Magic should be. You know, you go into your LGS, maybe you want to enjoy the starter commander decks, and you're 11 years old, you got your allowance, and boy, I'm gonna play some cards with people I've never met, and we're gonna have a good challenge. Shit, enjoy, engage with the products you want to. The price, priceless.
It really is. I mean, it really is. And I want to say hello to Steph and Tanya in the audience. It was a blast meeting you guys in Vegas and Prime.
Yeah.
I'll say this: if Magic crashes, keep sending emails to my address. I'll play on Spell Table, or if Spell Table goes down, I'll play on Discord. When we have BobCon here in the Cleveland area sometime again, I'll have you all over. We'll crack some $0 packs. How's that?
And hell, how many Destiny boxes you have that are worth nothing, but the game is still fun? It doesn't change.
Right.
how
I bought
fun
him
the game
because
is.
it's like, oh shit, the game's dead, and I can get these for $50 a box, and I can draft with it. He's talking about Star Wars Destiny.
Yeah,
I like the game. So
it's
now
fun.
I can draft as long as I want to. I have like probably 20 boxes, and that's gonna last me my lifetime.
Oh, what I'm super excited for, Ashes of Creation by Plathead Games. It's a collectible, well, it's a sealed card game. So I guess it'd be a living card game. Was that correct? Is where you buy the whole box at once, and then like they release expansions after that, and you just buy the expansion. There's no like packs of cards. Is that right? Living card game.
Living card games come out. It basically every expansion in a living card game, and it could be anything from about what you would consider the size of like a commander deck or something. Sometimes they're expansions on adding functionality to the game. Sometimes they're just adding more of the card pool of your heroes and whatnot. But in a living card game, all those expansions are identical. Like if you open a pack of whatever the latest Quijibo is, everybody else who buys Quijibo gets the exact same set of cards.
So yeah, so Ashes is a living card game. It's Ashes Reborn now. It has a reversion. They're coming out with a PVE version of Ashes where you buy the expansion pack and you actually play versus like everybody can build their decks and you can play versus the it's a Hydra and it has like its own play set. It has its own cards. You can build the Hydra deck. That I'm super stoked for. Ashes has always been a fun game for me. But the player versus player aspect of it, kind of similar to Ashes or similar to Flesh and Blood, is that the multiplayer has always been a little weird. Like it works, they have like rules for it, but it's kind of like hodgepodge together, and like the player versus player aspect is kind of weird. But playing versus a monster completely changes, kind of like what we're trying to do with Magic, because it doesn't really have a player versus monster mode. And Ashes is coming out with that, and actually it looks really good. It's coming out in like February, so I'm very happy with that. I'm super stoked.
Count me
I've
in.
already-
I'll
I've
give
already
it a
got
run.
mine. I've already got
So
mine
much good stuff
pre-ordered.
going on.
Yeah, Flesh and Blood should be coming out with it next year as well. That should be
Mm.
very good, very huge. I'm hoping.
Yeah,
Did they talk more about it? I've been looking for PVE announcements, but
that's my knowledge.
all I've seen was like that whole dynasty thing and the emperor, and
It seems like they're trying to like the sets. They have potential that they're like trying to like build up to the release for it. So like there are dead cards now, well, or not. They're not very good, but they could be crazy in a multiplayer format versus a environment, monster. So
I mean, like Quain itinerant meddler,
I don't
the
know
bunny
what that is.
rabbit that you in Magic. Quain, the bunny rabbit, you tap him, everybody draws a card and gains a life that draws a card.
Yeah. Cards like that where you're like, I would never play this, but you would play it if you're all on a team and you're trying to help each other out.
Yeah. So no, I totally get that, and we've talked about it here before about the Flesh and Blood PVE format coming out, and I love Magic. I have a lot of Magic cards. I would really love to leverage those against a PVE format, and if they won't create it, well, fuck them. We will. I tried when we were in Vegas to drop that bug in their ear, and I think they're just like a little behind the times. People love co-op stuff, even board games nowadays. I don't know if you guys play board games, but there's a ton of them out there that are just absolutely fantastic. Pandemic is a co-op board game. Let me see what else. Zombicide's a co-op board game. You have Imperial Assault. All these are co-op board games, and they're all fantastic. They're all fun. So there's a ton of them out there. No, I have not picked up a putter since Vegas. But it was a blast, even though it was hot as shit in that putt. Jesus.
Oh my god.
I was like a lump of bacon grease. I'm a fat dude. I don't need to be in a closed-in area with no AC.
Yeah, the fans were a savior. There was like a fan like every few holes, and I was just like standing in front of the fans, like,
So there you go, Bally's. If you want a suggestion on how to improve your putt area,
air conditioning,
more air conditioning. Jesus,
can you imagine how hot that place is when it was actually hot outside?
Oh my god, yeah, forget it. Maybe be nice and cool. Like when it's actually hot out, it's cool in there, but since it's cold out, it's hot in there. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you know what? There's an Aliens board game too, Prime. It's Legendary Aliens. Fantastic. Really hard though. Really difficult. And hello there, BBD.
But Hi, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, lots of new stuff coming out. Like I haven't really looked too much at the Jumpstart. I'm starting to see people cracking packs already on that stuff. It's interesting, and I wouldn't tell people not to get out, but to be quite honest, I'm a little tapped out on like like I need a breather here, man. It's a lot of money.
I'm actually a similar but different boat. I'm not really looking to engage with Jumpstart 22 myself. There's not a lot of real big reprints I'm chasing after. I've actually got a couple of Ristic studies already from the original Jumpstart as well. Great additions there. And I'm not really looking to mash the packs together. If I want to do that, maybe we'll grab a Brothers War Jumpstart because that shit's super cheap. You can get that anywhere. Sometimes people will give it to you for free. And
trade them a couple of old wrappers from another set. Here you go. Here's two
I do really enjoy the artwork for it. I think it was on DJ's stream. We were checking out some of the cards from Jumpstart 22. They've got some really good looking art in it. Very thematic for anime. I'm a bit of a Japanophile myself, so I really enjoy the graphics that they're putting on it, but the cards themselves, not really for me. But I am actually saving up pretty decently for a big order for Dominaria Remastered. So far, it's looking like it's going to be a really great product. I put in my pre-orders in like August or September. I think the day came out on Amazon pre-orders, which is my forte. I went ahead and got in some really low prices and absolutely shocked to see the new sticker price on it is near $250 for draft box.
Yeah, I think it's going to do well.
Boxes. There's no set boxes. No,
which is I guess fair. It's similar to like Double Masters.
And I think it's got a similar setup as well. Looking at the breakdown for what's in the different products, the draft packs look pretty decently packed, and on top of that, the collector's ones really seem juiced up, getting a couple of rare or better. And I think the foils are actually going to be a bit more difficult to get in the draft product than usual. So they've probably toned it down a little bit. This seems to me like it's somewhere between a new Time Spiral Remastered and the Double Masters products, which really excites me because going through the 27 different planes of Dominaria, we've got a really good chance of incredible cards that haven't been around for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, probably the next thing I'm going to buy Magic related is probably going to be like what Prime said on the Secret Layers. I need a Darksteel Colossus and I need a Blightsteel Colossus. So I'm probably going to get at least, like one foil, one non-foil. There was another one that grabbed my attention. I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't know if I'm going to get the other Transformer ones, but I got to get over $100 to get the free shipping. So I'll do whatever that takes to get to that. But I mean, that's a pretty damn good deal already for like, $30 that has a dark steel and a blight steel Colossus in it. Okay, that seems pretty legit to me. Not a huge. I know the Prime's about to hate me right now. Please don't unsub. I'm not a huge Transformer fan, but Sherry Vegas is, so I may get her some. However, yeah, Brothers War is decent. But I agree that Dominaria Remastered looks fantastic. But I just at some point I gotta, I gotta put the time out on Magic because it's just rifling through money, and I'm still looking forward to the Lord of the Rings. Like I've said, that's coming this year. I will probably skip most of the Phyrexia. There's obviously going to be something super huge in the what is it? The all or one or whatever the hell it is. The new Phyrex, the Phyrexian one that's coming out. All will be one.
What up, Mox, man? Good to have you.
Yeah, I'm excited for.
But
Phyrexian.
that's I like it, but I have to engage with the product that speaks to me most, and Lord of the Rings speaks to me the most.
Sure.
I hope they don't AFR all over it though. God, that'll piss me off.
So funny that you think AFR was a bad set.
Yeah, because I'm alone in that thought.
There's a lot of people I've talked to that like it. I like it.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Value? No. Flavor? Yes. Flavor was fantastic.
Okay, there's lots of different. I think the flavors suck. The rule book art is just ass. The basic lands look like shit. They made Drizzt a complete wuss.
Okay, I give you an extra point there. That shit hit me really hard too, Bob.
Like, there's so much that they missed on so hard. Like, the best card in the set, functionality speaking, in my opinion, is Old Gnawbone, which I like. It's a great card for what it is. But from D&D's perspective, before AFR, I had never heard of Old Gnawbone. Like, probably it exists, but it's not a big thing that I'm aware of. Like, it just missed hard on the flavor for me. It just did. And dungeons, if you play with them and somebody else is playing with them, and if everybody at the table was playing a damn dungeon for a commander game, holy miserably fucking slow. It's just like all the rolling dice and figuring out we're in the dungeon and blah, blah. Just slowing down the game is not a good idea. Any mechanics that slow down the game are bad.
Yeah, like the attractions decks and all that jazz that Unfinity added in, stickers and keeping track of stuff like that. Such a headache. The professor put out a video recently, a great troll, honestly, the deck of the future, and it was just packed full of shenanigans and shit sandwiches like that.
Yeah, like just nobody likes slow play. And so mechanics that slow the game down, I just don't care for it. And the rulebook art, like I said, it was atrocious. I'm like, oh, I love D&D, and they've improved their art over the years. Like in the rule books, they're just fantastic. If you have a player's handbook or a Dungeon Master's Guide or a Monster's Manual, go look at the art in it now. It's stellar. It's fantastic. I sometimes forget to read like what's on a page, just staring at the art that's in the books now.
I just bought.
So why would you harken back to like the shitty 5th grade drawings?
I don't know. I would rebuttal and say that I like the dungeon mechanics. The dungeon mechanics are good, and if you play with somebody that actually knows how to run the dungeon mechanic, it's very quick and very easy to do, and it's not hard at all. Tiamat was one of the most iconic monsters in Dungeons and Dragons, and Tiamat is widely used in a variety of different decks. Portable Hull's a fantastic card. Tasha said his laughter is funny. I don't know if it's used that much in mill decks, but it's a good card. Treasure Vault's fantastic. You've got Den of the Bugbear and the Hive Tyrant, Hive of the Eye Tyrant, and there's good flavor with the Beholder being in the art of the Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Acerak, the Archlich is a good card. Like, there's all kinds of crap. Book of Exalted Deeds is a fantastic card. It had to be banned because it was so good. And these are all flavor cards that are in Dungeons and Dragons and also in that are used cards in Magic. Yeah, at least in Commander. I can't speak for any other format. Lolth is a fantastic Planeswalker. She did great. She's a widely used card. I don't know. I liked it. I enjoy it. As far as the module versions,
and that's what's important, folks. Do that. If you like it, like it. tell me to go F myself. That's fine. If you loved AFR, if you love Strixhaven, if you love Crimson Vow, if you love Midnight Hunt, go buy those. Go engage with that. That's what you should be doing. Right? I was disappointed with AFR. It was like a big proctology exam for me. Like I had a bunch of money saved up and I had a bunch of it already on pre-order. And when I went through the freaking spoiler season, I was like, oh, Lord, and shifted it all into Modern Horizons 2. And I'm much happier.
It wasn't quite the set I was expecting it to be. Not quite the set I was hoping it would be. But for what we got out of it, yeah, I think it definitely got a bad rep. You know, it's by far a better entry than anything we got out of, October. The Midnight Hunt, Crimson Vow stuff was just absolutely terrible. It was atrocious. And I think even Dominaria United, in a couple of months, people are going to be so fresh with their dislike for it, and they'll go back similar to we are now and kind of get something good out of it. That's my
I don't think Dominaria United is a bad set either. Do people think that's a bad set?
There's a lot of hate on it, but I think that's just the environment we're in right now. Like,
I was gonna say, I think people are just hating to hate, just to hate,
which we've been trying desperately to correct. Like, let's get back to Magic, folks. Like, make Magic great again, and that's up to you, not WotC. Seriously. So, do that, especially over the holiday seasons coming up, folks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'll be able to be here next weekend. I have an engagement, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So just be prepared that we may be kind of spotty here for the holiday season. I don't know for myself. I'll try to be as publicly available as I can, so you guys can keep throwing stones and sticks and call me names. That's fine. But
don't worry too much about them, Bob. Haters gonna hate.
No, look, it's funny. Here's the thing that strikes me. So, look at this, save this video for 3 years from now and look back at it and make fun of me. But I think that these people that jumped on the hate train and cashed in on it are going to regret that ultimately. When you attract and call the trolls, that's the audience you're going to get. And if that makes your audience better to bring in all the hate bears, well, then, cool. It's not what I choose. That's not the part of Magic I want to engage with, or the Magic community. I want to engage with the Magic community that wants to be here, that enjoys ripping wrappers and turning cards sideways and talking theory and crafting and all that shit about Magic and how do we make it fun. And, I think that it's going to come back to bite a lot of people. All these negative Nancys and naysayers and harping on what could possibly be, without any evidence whatsoever, a bad product. Because let me just challenge you all to go out and look at sold eBay listings for the 30th commemorative and let that speak for itself. There's not a lot of it going to be out there. So, careful what you listen to. Even me. Don't listen to me. I've said it all the time. I'll give you my opinion on things, and then it's up to you to do your homework. I try to give you as much information as possible. And, do your own due diligence on things and let that make you happy or upset. I'm never unhappy about things I can't afford to buy. Like there was a $950,000 home that Zillow just sent me in my mail this morning. I was like, wow, that's a baller house I'll never buy. Not mad at them for building it.
There's this company called Ferrari. Unfortunately, I never get to engage with any of their products, even though I really want to. Yeah.
You could probably get a sticker.
Yeah.
You could probably get a Ferrari sticker.
Yeah, put that on my water bottle. That'll really put him off.
Yeah, so it's like, find the fun in Magic, folks.
Yeah,
like I said, the simple solution is for every Magic product, stop expecting return on investment. Just don't. Straight don't. Buy what you like. Buy what looks appealing. And this is the way I think about that as well. And I actually got this from Moxman, if you're still listening. When you buy the box because you like it, that's what he said many moons ago, and I respected that. He bought the product not necessarily to make money, but he was buying the boxes that he liked. And that's what I would encourage everybody to do. Buy the products that you like. Have an attachment to your product. Buy extras of it if you think it's good. Because here's the thing. Things that you like, if you like something like what Matt said with AFR, I could have egg all over my face, and one day that could be a stellar value. I don't know. It's just not one that I want to engage with heavily. But here's the thing. If he has a bunch of boxes of it and he does super well, let's say that becomes the best-selling set of all time and goes to $100,000 a box, good for him if he's got it. And if the money comes later for something that you bought to enjoy in the first place, well, then awesome, right? That's. I was gonna say something dirty, but I won't. It's like having the girlfriend that you suddenly find out, oh, she does that too.
Yeah.
That's the bee's knees, is what you were going to say, right?
Bonus.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like
It's
that's the thing,
bonus
and
on top. Yeah.
that's the cherry on top. That's learning she can actually tie cherry stems with her tongue and do a knot. But it's not the reason that you dated her. And it's the same thing with Magic. If it makes you money, great. Enjoy it. Lavish in it. And if you think you're good enough to predict it, go for it. And all these people that know for a certainty already that the collector's edition is going to go to 0, please send me the winning lottery numbers if you're that good.
Yeah, right.
You know something about the future I don't.
Do you know anything about the current S&P? I'd like to get that information.
Yeah, no shit. Give me some stock tips.
Well,
So,
what's the next cryptocurrency that I should farm?
Yeah, right. He's got a couple
please.
extra GPUs now that they're cheap again, right?
Yeah. What's the best GPU to be farming the best coin right now? Let me know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's
Let me know in the comments.
hopefully my point didn't get lost in the shuffle there, but it's a game, and it really needs to get back to being a game.
Mm.
I honestly, I
speaking
don't
of
regret.
a game, speaking of games, I'm not sure if you came with them, but I've got some cards for Sleeve
Oh, I
Sell
came.
Shred. Oh,
I did
he
not.
came too.
Shit.
I did not. But I'm
I'll
looking
take-
at
I'll
Adventures of the
take it.
Forgotten Realms collector's box. They're 115 on TCG Play right now.
Ooh, are you gonna?
I have a bet
you gonna
with
do it?
Rob that. Well, no, I'm looking at my calendar. I have a bet with Rob on April. April 16th of this next year. They have to hit 300, or else I owe him a box of the recent whatever standard set is that he wants. So I need them to triple in price in about 5 months. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Uh-oh,
But I might
that's-
buy some.
You never know. You never know. And that's just it. That's what Pat's video is. You don't know. I don't know. Matt doesn't know. Rudy doesn't know. And none of you in the audience know. Right?
Okay. I think we have a
Yes.
stronger knowing of this. I think we can safely say that BP is not going to hit 100 by the end of the month. So
112.
I mean,
Okay, I gotta order some of these.
What, the AFR collector boxes?
Yeah, 112, 115. Like, come on, that's
Honestly, I want the Baldur's Gate ones to hit like 115. Then I'll start buying them because I just want the land cycle alone. Shit, if I care about the Copper Dragon, which I don't think is a great card anyways, but yeah, I want that. I do want those cards. I do want the commander cycle of lands from Baldur's Gate.
and I think that's actually something that I am really happy with Magic. They started doing this in the last year or two, I think, with the commander slot in collector's boosters. Not just that you're getting the different treatments, and yeah, you get some extra foils, which is usually a detriment in all honesty. And then you also get, the different treatments. But that commander slot, I mean, Ikoria was, for me, my tippity-toppity probably favorite Magic product of all time so far. And the collector's boosters of that product are even friggin' better because you can get Fierce Guardianship, Deadly Rollick, all that tasty jazz is also in there as well. So that's another great thing I think Magic's been doing. So suck a dick, negative people.
I don't know if I would go that far, but I would say maybe reevaluate. Is this a game like that? Would just has been mind-boggling for me through this whole process of watching the hate train get rolling. Don't you guys love the game? I do.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna defend the negative Nancy's a smidgen.
Uh-oh.
So here's the thing: as
Too
strongly
much.
as both of you feel, so I'm on the fence where I just don't care anymore. But you guys are so strongly opposed of the negative Nancy's. as strongly as you guys feel about your opinions, and they are opinions by all in stretch of the imagination, they are all just opinions. Everybody has opinions. Just as strongly as you guys feel about your opinions, those people also feel so strongly about their opinions. So saying that they're wrong is kind of wrong. You can't say that they're wrong for believing what they believe when you're believing what you believe. It's the same as like politics or whether you are racist or not. Like if you feel the way you feel, it's not right to tell people that the way they feel is the wrong way to feel. Now, it is the right thing to say that don't let the negativeness of what people feel deter you from feeling the way you feel. Feel the way you want to feel, I guess, is the right thing. And if you want to do something about it, you do something about it. So if
Pat
you
didn't say they
believe
shouldn't feel that way. He was
I
just
don't know,
telling
I
us
know.
fucking dick if they did.
Yeah,
right.
I'm just saying in general, we've said a lot. Well, you guys have said a lot about that it's causing problems, but it's only causing problems if you let it cause problems for you. It's not changing anything.
That's a
really.
great point. It's a lot like free speech. The more you believe in free speech, the more you allow other opinions that you really dislike. So
Right. Yeah, I was using. I'm not saying racism is a good thing. That's not what I'm trying to say, Clay. What I'm saying is that just
here's what I'm
general,
saying. Think for
the way you
yourself.
believe is up to you. In general, I mean, racism isn't right, but if you strongly believe it, it's not up to me to go, you're wrong. It's up to you to decide whether you're right or not. It's up for you to become a better person and actually change that thing about you. Like it's not for me to change the way you think, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
speaking
I'm not
of
trying to
changing the way that people think, Disney's got a new magic-like product coming out called Disney's Lorcana. Isn't this incredible? Hard switch.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
I
all
tried.
about it. All
I
about
thought-
it. If it doesn't spark your interest now, folks, please, I urge you, go look at sold listings on eBay, sold for cards that were just sold to the public for $50 for the set of 6. Go look at the sold listings on eBay now. Those listings were sold for $49.95 at D23, which is on September 9th of 2022. Go look right now and see sold listings and how many of them have sold.
But how many were sold to public?
Interest. Huh?
How many were sold to the public? Was it very limited?
Until supplies ran out. So
Okay,
there's
I think it's
dozens
100
and
and
dozens.
it's extremely limited, and that's
There's
why it's so
dozens
high.
and dozens and dozens of sales in the thousands of dollars for something that just released 3 months ago for $50. So
I don't think that has anything to do
tells
with.
me you're not looking at. Okay, I don't want to say you're not looking at this right way. What it tells me is there is a serious amount of interest in the market for Lorcana.
You know what
Now,
it
when you
tells
want to
me?
look, now I want to get into this. I really want to get into it now. Yeah, you poke the bear, you're getting the horns.
Well, let me say what it tells me is that people are trying to jump on the bandwagon of a new card that's coming out, powered by a very strong conglomerate that could push a good product. And people are jumping like sorcery. People are like, "Oh, sorcery's going to change the world. It's going to be sick." And then you look at sorcery. Is sorcery going to take over the world and become the next best CCG? Probably not. But if you go look at eBay pre-sold listings or actual sold listings, you're going to see thousands of dollars for the alpha. The new thing nowadays is anytime a new card set comes out that has any interest, that gets any publicity, people buy the alpha stuff and they're like, it's worth billions. Let me see a year or two from now, it's probably worth nothing. I don't know. That's my choice. That's the way I believe.
Yes, but you've already stated that the way that you approach everything is that you're going to look at it negatively until somebody proves you otherwise.
Sure.
That's your default stance.
That should be the default stance
what
for
I'm
everyone.
saying is that there are dozens of sold listings for something I'm going to pay attention to from a company that is like you said, massive conglomerate that has TV channels, that has a massive marketing department behind it. Hasbro earned $1 billion last year. Disney earned $67 billion, meaning that they could have purchased Hasbro within the first week of earnings of last year. So we're not talking about even close to the same ballpark.
I've heard they've been.
Additionally, Disney is a master of marketing and pushing things out to get it in front of people. You're going to have grandparents They'll look at all the sorceries and Magic the Gatherings and Flesh and Bloods that might be on shelves, and that's not going to make some grandparent that doesn't know shit all about demons and whatnot that are going to be on the boxes and go, let me buy this for my grandkids. Oh, look, Mickey Mouse. Let me buy that for them. There's going to be what I call incidental sales accidentally made for something that they don't even know what the hell it is and don't care. It's some Disney thing for their kids. They're going to recognize Elsa on there. Sure. Oh, my granddaughter loves Elsa. Let me buy that. Like that kind of sales is going to happen. Those kind of sales are going to happen globally. You think people, who do you think is bigger recognized in the world? Pokemon or Mickey Mouse? I'm going to tell you right now, it's Mickey Mouse.
Oh yeah, Mickey Mouse is up there with like Santa Claus and Ronald McDonald as one of the most recognizable advertisement characters of all time. It's incredible that.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's going to fail.
I'm not saying that this game is going to be the next Titan. I'm not saying that you're going to buy it for $100 a box and it's going to turn into 10,000. What I'm saying is that it is a game that's coming out that's new, that will have its alpha version, which isn't out yet. I'm letting you know ahead of time, folks. This is coming in fall of 2023. I am personally diverting half of my Magic funds next year into Lorcana. No doubt about it. The alpha version of it. I don't care if it goes 500% like these did. All I'm saying is that it has a much higher ceiling. They all have a same floor of being worthless, but Magic cannot reach the heights that Lorcana possibly can. It's just not possible. They don't have the marketing behind it. They don't have the IP behind it.
Yeah.
What's that?
There's an incredibly wide audience for their lore. You know, their audience is gigantic because they've had such an incredible backlog of different characters. They can do so much with art that they've already owned. So they don't have to commission anybody for much of anything except for card design. And there are people that have seen their movies on, I think, probably every continent at this point. Like people in the Antarctic stations have probably sat and watched Disney movies on cold.
Oh yeah, they're watching Frozen.
Yeah,
I've still never seen Frozen.
But okay, Matt, all I'm saying is that to me, and you're welcome to dispute it, and you're welcome not to buy it. I'm letting people know what I'm buying, and that's what Pat's talking about. And there's enough evidence online.
This is a great example from Blake. You know, he's a doctor. This is a great way to look at this, is that engage in the products that you want to. This is something non-magic, and that's, Bob's saying it, critical thinking. You know, if it's something you just don't want to deal with, you don't want to put your money into it, Matt's going to do something else with his cash. He's going to buy index funds. He's going to get payments on his new car out the way, so he's got a lower interest rate. He's not done with his money. Yeah, well,
car payments are fucking horrible. They're really bad for... If you want profit, you pay cash, or you pay it off very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but no, basically the biggest problem that I have, and it has nothing to do necessarily with Lorcana, it's with every new card game trying to come out, and every new card game having like a very small sale of like alpha product that like skyrockets to the moon, and then people say the card game is going to be great, and then it comes out and it doesn't, and it flops, and it doesn't really do much, and it just kind of sits there. And every new product that comes out afterwards that from that brand that failed just is worth nothing. And I mean, maybe I'm just
here's where I feel that you're not taking parts of it into account. You're comparing it against other card games. You're comparing it against an audience that buys card games, right? And there will be the card game audience that buys the Lorcana card game. The difference between them is that you have Disney fans that are going to buy this, that don't know dick about card games. The exposure to even know that card games exist. If you don't think that's a thing, go out and ask 50 people where you work how many of them have even heard of Magic the Gathering. You're going to find a large percentage of them have never even heard of it. What's that? Right? The average person out there doesn't know about Magic. The average person does know about Disney. Now, you're going to have exposure, just accidental exposure. What they're trying to do with the crossovers for the what is it? Was it Universes Beyond? That's the whole purpose of that, is to get exposure of the product into different markets. Disney has an amazing market. And instead of an audience of potentially 50 million, like what Magic could possibly be exposed to, even with all the crossover IPs, you're talking about an audience of billions for Disney. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a slam dunk win. I'm saying I'm convinced enough. I want exposure to the alpha product enough to probably about the tune of $2,000 to $3,000. It's probably what's going to be my budget next year. If it falls on its face, so be it. Agreed. Lots of card games have come and gone. Look at Star Wars Destiny. It's a big IP and it face planted because it just had some bad management. But let me tell you, Disney has a massive PR machine, a massive marketing machine, which none of these games have. Pokemon.
I'll be curious to see what happens, because I mean, like, are people really going to buy a $50 box of cards that they intend not to play with and just have and collect? Maybe.
What are you talking about?
Like, it's a card game, right? Like, it's still it's a playing card game. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, what you're saying is that the people that don't know what a card game is, are they really going to buy it to try to play the card game, or are they going to buy it just to collect?
No, this is what you're completely missing. They're not buying it for themselves at all. You're going to have incidental purchases for people. There are going to be some that just want to, just like there's a lot of Star Wars people that don't give a shit about how the card games did. They just like having stuff that's Star Wars. And you see it all over shelves all over the place. It's shelf candy. But there's going to be a ton of grandparents and parents and whatnot buying Disney shit for their kids. And this is more Disney shit.
Oh, yeah. And,
that's how it's going to go. They're not going to know jack about it.
Absolutely incredible marketing schemes that they could do as well. So
you're hoping that the customers are stupid enough to buy it without even knowing what it is. Which, you know what, honestly,
it's going to happen.
It's probably going to happen a lot.
This could unfortunately happen. And I think would be a great way if Lilo and Stitch 3, or whatever the new Disney movie that comes out is. In their Blu-rays, you have a chance to get a really good card, a super rare version that you could only get accidentally by buying those or purposely.
Oh, there's so much that they could do with this. Like, hey, we're giving away a unique card at Disney if you come visit the park this
right.
30th whatever anniversary shit. You're gonna have. They could do things that Magic just can't touch, that they just don't even have the avenues to go that way.
They could probably get away with
with movie premieres or DVD sales or ticket sales at a park for being there for a particular event that they just hand out from the floats that they toss shit out from when you go to Disney, Main Street parades and things. Like, it's just
like Moxman is saying here,
crazy.
Maybe in the Frozen 5 movie, you see the main characters sitting down playing a game of Lorcana, and then the movie continues along. They just put a spot in their own movie for their own product. There's nothing out of the realms for advertisement possibilities for a gigantic company like that.
They could probably sell 4 packs of collector cards for $1,000 and get away with it.
Okay. You know what they sell for a 4-pack that they get away with $1,000? Park tickets for 3 days.
Oh, bro, get out of here. That's like 2 people.
You know what my last trip to Disney cost me for 3 days?
No, I've never been.
$6,000.
Yeah, it's obscene.
So you want to talk about money being thrown at shit? People dump money on Disney in wheelbarrows, and they don't even think about it. My uncle spent like $24,000 on his last trip that he took the family to Disney because they stayed on property for 7 days.
So current price is $109 for a single ticket with a 6.5% sales tax, and that's the cheapest you can get it at. It maxes out at $189 per ticket per day.
Yeah, so, get that for 3 people in a family. That's just a mama, pop, and a kid.
Yeah, that's like a single. That's a couple of hours.
It doesn't seem outrageous. I mean, if you go to Six Flags or Cedar Point, they're like, what, 60, 70?
Well, there you go. It's all about what you want to engage with your money. If it's worth it for a couple of hours to go and do that, and all you have is the memories.
So let's think about this. Let's just start doing a little bit of math. Let's say it's not crazy to think that an average family has 3 kids. 3 kids, wow. 2 adults, with park hopper option. I don't know that you have that one included there. And let's say that it's, because I can tell you that the tickets were roughly about $150 a piece, and that was getting discounts and everything. Like, by the time all is said and done, it's going to be, probably $200 per person per day for the park hoppers. And let's just say the average person doesn't fly all the way down to Florida for one day, like you go to Cedar Point for. You're probably there at a minimum 3 days times $1,000 for just the tickets. Now you're going to talk about the food and the hotel stay and the flights and all. It's, you're talking $6,000 to $7,000 is what you better plan for at a minimum. And that's being very cheap, because you eat at Disney, it's like $12 for a hot dog. So I'm not even joking. It's like, ballpark prices. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense to you, Matt, but I'm just saying people throw that kind of money at Disney hand over fist. So comparing that to maybe $150 box of cards to make their kids happy. I used to buy that shit for my daughter for Pokemon. She never played Pokemon, but we have a collection of Pokemon because parents just go, oh, look, something I can get my kids. They'll open it and be happy. And they don't know what they're doing. They'll lick the cards for all I care, just as long as it keeps them distracted. So yeah, there's going to be lots of people buying that product that you don't for Magic, just to keep little Johnny Rottenfinger from, sticking his finger in the toaster again.
Now,
So,
if
yes.
League of Legends came out with a card game, I'd be on board.
But I'm just saying, look at it how you want. That's my assessment of what's happening here. And it's certainly made my radar, and showing that there are legit, not one or two sales, dozens of sales, pages of sales in the multi-thousands of dollars for 6 freaking cards that people bought 3 months ago for $50. You got my attention. It's something that I'm definitely, unless I hear something really bad, I'm planning on investing in the alpha.
Yeah, I got no reason not to throw a bit of money at it. I decently increased my pay at work, so got a little bit extra I can throw around. So I don't see why I wouldn't put a little bit into it. Seems like it's going to be interesting, and the artwork, honestly, is really
like it.
phenomenal. Yeah, it
It
looks really cool.
The cards are clean and bright.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And from everything I've seen, impeccable printing quality. So really interested. So
Yeah, I mean,
there's that.
and I'm not saying to buy it. I'm just preaching, be aware of it. Put some thought into it.
And speaking of being aware and putting thought into things, Bob, did you pick out some for the Triple S, or should I go first?
I have not. I actually don't even plan to today. I really wanted to try to catch up on Ed's stream here in a little bit. Sorry for being a party for all of our fans here.
Oh.
Maybe we can go raid him when we're done with Triple S.
It's okay. As soon as we started talking about freedom of speech and Lorcana, we easily dropped like 70% of our audience. So, yeah.
Well, also, a lot of people bailed to go over to check out Ed. It's his monthly stream.
Ed does a stream like 3 times a week at this point.
Yeah, but I think he gives stuff away on this one and stuff.
Oh,
this is like
cool.
a big stream. We don't give away free stuff, so.
No. And speaking of, giving away things, I've watched a bit of the stuff over on Twiddler's channel. Man, that guy's so inventive. And he's so, he seems honestly genial. Like a very pleasant person. It's very nice to see that. He's consistently been, that person. So, big ups to you, Twiddler.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's back. He was gone for a while with his sale of his house and whatnot, so I hope that YouTube didn't punish him too much. So go over and give him a look and a like, folks, if you haven't ever checked out Twiddler's Place. And he's got, he tries to keep it engaging and fun. So
yeah, he's always doing something cool. Speaking of people doing cool stuff, Ed over on Dual Brain, I think he's doing his stream now or in just a bit. So go check him out if you're not already over there. Matt, anything you want to say before we close out?
Be kind to everybody. Respect everybody's outlooks and visions, and discuss. Discussion is good.
Yes.
Just be respectful. That's all.
Right. There you go.
You don't have to like what people say. You don't have to like what companies do, but just be respectful. And change can happen by voting with your wallet. Change can happen by expressing your opinion in a respectful manner to the company via Twitter and all the whatever other venues you feel. There's places that they ask for feedback. They send surveys out. do all of those things. Show your opinion, and let's make 2023 a more positive vibe.
Amen to that. Amen to that. I hope everybody beyond outside, the walls of Magic and YouTube and all that, take stock in what you have, cherish those around you, let them know about it. I will forever cherish the trip that Matt and I had. We might seem like we butt heads a lot here, but that was one of my favorite vacations that I've ever taken in my life. I will always cherish the Vegas trip and the folks that we met out there, Stefan and Tanya and Prime and Brody and just all of this. There's so many people that we met. What a fantastic experience that was. Folks, I don't even remember their names, but it was awesome.
Yeah. My memory's horrible.
But, make some memories this holiday season. Whether you spend a penny on Magic or card games or not. Try to play some games with people, whether they're Magic or, some Monopoly, whatever makes memories this season. Go do that.
And, I mean, for me, just want to say, everybody, do your best. That's rarely something that we actually achieve, is doing our best. Sometimes we do just enough to get by, but I know I can do better than I have been, and I know you can too. So that's all I really want, is that you bring that level of achievement up to your next notch. So until then, I've been Pat the Pauper, joined here by the pure MTG gaming crew, and it's just been phenomenal to hang out here with you. So enjoy your holidays.
Before we check out, though, folks, if you're not doing anything immediately after this, for the folks that are still in chat, or if you're in both of them, please go check out Dual Brain MTG. He's, I believe, streaming live now. I'm going to go get a coffee, kiss my fiance, and probably tune into it.
I'm going to go eat some breakfast.
Take care, guys.
Peace.